Hi there, I'm Natasha. This is my channel, Always Be Crafting. Thank you for joining me today. It is Saturday, February 22nd, and on Saturdays I sew. So what am I sewing? Well, before I started talking, you should have seen footage of me cutting out a pattern piece. It is for a pocket, so it's a very large pocket. Look at that. It's a bit bigger than even I thought it was going to be. I am going to be quilting up and sewing a giant kangaroo style pocket for a big blanket hoodie that my husband had gifted me for Christmas. If you saw my Monday, Making Monday video, I think this past week, I'll link it in the cards. I can't remember what side it's on. I think that side. Last week I had fixed my husband's hoodie because he didn't like the neckline. Anyways, I love my blanket hoodie. I think it's fabulous. But the one thing it's missing is a giant pocket. So I found a pattern, a free pattern online for the Billy blanket. I'll link that down in the description box down below. It's a free pattern you can get. And I thought, that's an awesome pattern all by itself. It's like a giant blanket hoodie sweatshirt, like a gigantic oversized sweatshirt essentially. And it has the pocket. And I thought, well, my blanket hoodie is almost the same thing. It doesn't have sleeves because it's basically a hood on top of a enormous blanket. But since it's the same idea, I could just take the pocket piece from that free pattern. So that's what I've done is I printed that out, and I might have to make it smaller, but I assume this has seam allowance in it, so that'll get turned under a little bit. So I'm going to cut that out after I film this introduction. So that's next, but you saw me cutting out the pieces of paper, and you would have seen me drawing on top of the paper and being like, what is she drawing on top of? I had printed, but my printer ink is out. So it's, can you see the yellow line? That's what my printer had printed, was yellow. And I was like, oh no, I need to make that bigger. And actually this is like the smaller size in yellow right there. So I had cut it out on the next size bigger. So maybe I'll actually just take it down to this next yellow line, make it a little bit smaller from the beginning, maybe. Or maybe that's the sewing line. I should probably read the pattern. It's a free pattern. I should probably read it. Anyways, you saw me do that. And then you saw me cutting down this little tiny rainbow umbrella topper. And you saw me glue it to the top of this little black umbrella. I'm fixing this for my husband. I just glued the center part on. And then I'm going to probably have to hand stitch the rest. I don't know. After this glue has set around the center, then I'll go in and see how that's doing. And I might be able to just glue the rainbow parts down. This is for a display he's doing. And the display needs a rainbow umbrella, not a black umbrella. So I'm trying to help him with that. I'm not sure if it's going to require any hand sewing or if it can all be accomplished with gluing, but I started that anyways for him. Then you would have seen me sewing up something that's technically on my Make 9. So if you had seen a video I'd posted, maybe I have to link that one too, back in January. It's this challenge. I don't even know who started it. I'm not savvy enough to do all the internet research, but there's this thing out here on the YouTube internet world called Make 9. And it's often done with sewing patterns, but then sometimes people do it with fabrics, 9 fabrics they want to do. Some people 9 sewing challenges they want to do. Like they want to learn how to use a serger, or they want to try this pattern, or, they mix and match the 9 different things they want to do over the course of the year. So for 2025, my Make 9 included 2 quilt coats. So one of the quilt coats on my Make 9 is actually a repeat. I have to actually go back and look at my Make 9. I think I included the quilt coat. Pretty sure it's on my Make 9. I should double check. But I'm pretty sure it's on my Make 9. But anyways, I had made this quilt coat a year ago and I haven't touched it since, but I wanted to make some adaptations to the pattern before I make it again. And I had these, what are they called? Cantha cloths, Cantha blankets. I had purchased on Amazon back before I started boycotting Amazon, these Cantha blankets. And they were inexpensive. I mean, really inexpensive. And you get what you pay for, because I think I got 3 blankets for $39. So like $13 a blanket. And I thought, well, you know, it's just cheap fabric. I'm just experimenting on what could go wrong. You can't really, you know, why not, right? And they're cheap fabric. And I got them and I wasn't as excited about them as I wanted to be. But some of the fabric was prettier, you know, some pieces. It's so, if you don't know what Cantha is, it's amazing. And like when you see the artwork, the powerful, let's start again. Cantha is where you take scraps of fabric and you sew them together. It's traditionally done in India, but it's done differently in different parts of India. Usually it was taking waste sari fabric and sewing it together. But I do know from watching interviews and reading articles, I've never read an entire book on the subject, but I've read articles on the subject, that it's been passed down generation after generation. And it is, different stitches are used in different villages. And it is very much a folk art, and that some of it can be really, really beautiful, because sometimes it's like, you know, maybe a mom's wedding sari, pieces of that fabric got put into a quilt and passed down, you know? So it can be really gorgeous, but that's not what I was buying. I was definitely buying discarded fabric. And these are, I also thought saris were all going to be silk. These are cottons. Whoa. Gosh, excuse me. These are all cotton fabrics. They're not horrible, but they're just not as glorious as I was hoping I was going to be getting. Anyways, so I took the 3 saris, or 3 Cantha cloths, blankets, and I had cut them up a while ago, and I'd made like a really cute pillow and maybe a bag for someone who like loves that hippie style. And I had fun with it, but I had a lot of fabric left over. And the reason I'd purchased them to begin with was to make these quilt coats. So I'm like, you know what? That was why I bought them. That's what I'm going to use them for, even if it's just a wearable toile. Even if it's just something that I keep only in my home, it does not go out in public. It's still good practice for me. Let's use them. And so that's what I did today. I'd cut them up a while ago. So I had to kind of like reacquaint myself with the pattern. And it's not perfect. It's really not perfect. But it was a really good start for me. And it's not horrible. I tried it on. I will when I go upstairs. So I come down Saturday mornings and I just get straight to work in my basement. If you're new here, thank you for joining me. I have my basement area as like my sewing and crafting area, and I'm so lucky to have this space. But on Saturday mornings, it's kind of like my sacred time, because I work Sunday through Friday in the morning. So Saturday mornings are really my special time. I don't waste time showering on Saturday mornings. I come straight down here. And for a long time, I never in a million years would have thought I would have filmed a video. But I realized the only way I was going to become accountable to myself doing these videos was if I just said, you know what, I'm going to put myself out there on the internet without showering, because most days I have not showered before I come onto the internet. But it's okay. I am who I am. I don't think I have anything to be ashamed of or embarrassed about. And take me or leave me, right? That being said, I do not feel comfortable modeling clothing in my pajamas. I have my limits, okay? So after I have like bathed and really dressed in all the appropriate undergarments, maybe I will try on this jacket and take a picture of myself so you can see. And then I will put photo evidence of that somewhere here for you to see, because it is actually pretty cute, even though it's far from perfect. But it's something I can keep at home, and I think it'll be nice. I still haven't decided. I still haven't decided if I'm going to move forward on this quilt coat with the fabric I cut out for the other fabric I purchased, because I also have the pattern that I've recently cut out, just the pattern. I haven't cut out any fabrics of the tamarack jacket. So this is the elemental coat. I love Teresa Coates. She's just awesome person. And I had done her pattern before, the elemental coat before, and I really liked it. I did it with a zip. I made some small tweaks to this. I'm not sure those were the right tweaks to make. And I think my biggest issue with it right now is the dropped shoulder. And I think that's just me, the way I'm shaped. I'm not sure a dropped shoulder is the best fit for me. So, before I cut out my nice fancy fabric in my elemental pattern, I might make another wearable toile. I might make some more tweaks to the shoulders to bring up, even though it's still a dropped shoulder, I might bring the shoulder up a little bit, because that wasn't one of the changes I made to the pattern to fit me better. I think the size range on the elemental coat goes to like a size 24, and I'm generally a size 26. So I added a little bit to it, and I'm heavy chested, so I added a little bit more. So widening the back a little bit might have messed with that shoulder, making that dropped shoulder worse than it should be. So maybe I needed to do like a shoulder adjustment in addition to widening the back. I do not do a lot of garment sewing, so I have a lot to learn. That being said, I will take pictures of this and I'll show you. And if you do garment sewing and you have any feedback, I would love to hear it, because I think my biggest problem with it as it stands is how far the sleeves come down on that dropped shoulder, how far the dropped shoulder drops, if you will. Now, the sweatshirt I'm wearing right now is a what's that called? What's this called? It's not drop shoulder. It's I forgot what this is called. I'll write it on the screen, because I love this kind of shoulder. I love it so much. And I want to learn how to do this. And I'm totally blanking on the name of what this shoulder construction is called. I want to learn how to do this, but I don't know how to do this one yet. I've never done it, but I love it. And this is next on my list, but it's not a drop shoulder. Anyways, one of the other things I did with this was I installed the sleeve in the flat, which was not the way I learned how to do it on my first elemental coat. I think I had done it the way Teresa had shown me, had done it in her videos, which is you construct the jacket and then insert the sleeve. But it was over a year ago, so maybe I skipped her video and I did it that way wrong, and maybe she had taught us to insert the sleeve in the flat and then I just missed it. It was over a year ago and I had a lot going on. But my brain has been saying, insert the sleeve in the flat, insert the sleeve in the flat. It'll be so much easier. And I did it, and it was so much easier. So I'm really glad I did it. That being said, it still drops too low. All right. That's a lot of talking. What's next on my to-do list? So when I stop talking and turn you around, I'm going to be ironing on fusible fleece to some fabric that my son bought me, and that's what I'm going to be quilting and making my giant pocket out of for my hoodie blanket thing, because I think that will be cute. And then while I have my iron out, I'm going to be ironing on some fusible interfacing to some canvas, because I had promised a bag to my friend months ago, but I had the wrong interfacing, and I have the correct interfacing now, so I need to get going on that bag for her. So that's what is next on my to-do list. So yes, it is Saturdays I sew, but sometimes sewing is also ironing and pattern cutting and prepping. So that's it. Thanks for watching. If you have any feedback or if you know any videos or tutorials that can give me more feedback on pattern adjusting, especially for shoulders, I feel like I'm constantly watching tutorials, but I would love feedback. I would love advice. That's why I'm here on YouTube. I want to just be part of the sewing community. So let me have it. If you got it, give it to me. Thanks for being here. Like, subscribe, you know, the whole drill. If you liked it, I also accept pity likes. Anyways, have a wonderful day. Take care. Shall I model it? All right, let me step back. It's really long. I got a big old mess. Can you see around my messy mess? Ta-da! I got pockets. What can I put in my pockets? How about bottle of glue? Boop. No problem. I don't want to carry around a bottle of glue, but I can sit on the couch, fill my pockets with snacks, phone, whatever I want, and I'm good. And see, I got my hoodie. I'm cozy. So I'm happy. I forgot to show you the thing I made this week. Hold on, it's right here. I made a quilted bag. Isn't that cute? It's a Mickey Mouse, or, you know, I mean, not officially licensed Mickey Mouse, but it looks like a Mickey Mouse. Little mouse head, and it's a quilt block. I used soft vinyl for everything, quilted it, and it's like a ripstop fabric on the inside. Look at that. It's got a pocket right there, a little hanging pocket for your phone or keys or whatever. So super durable. It'll stand up because it's quilted on soft and stable, so it'll stand up on its own. Isn't that sweet? I had a lot of fun making that this week too. Did I make anything else? I probably did. I've been making a lot of things. So I think that's it for today. If I do anything else, oh, I'll tell you what's going on with I'll turn you around and tell you about the other stuff. All right, so this is the canvas that I had fused. Okay, so this side is canvas, and I fused it with the structure. This is all very structure medium weight fusible interfacing. This is what I got at Michael's. So I had done a test with it and thought it came out nice. What I'm realizing is usually you iron from the fabric side. This was not adhering. So then I started ironing it from the fusible side, and it started sticking to my iron. So then I put a piece of freezer paper on it so it wouldn't stick to my iron, but now my freezer paper is stuck to it. So I got a big old mess. Luckily, I have more canvas, and I think I have a different fusible interfacing. I'll turn you around to see me. I'm still wearing my cozy hoodie. I think I need to wash it. I think I spilled some snacks on it already. Oh well. Yeah, so this iron-on did not work. I cannot recommend it at this time. If you don't know, Joann's is going out of business. So once Michael's started carrying fabric and interfacing, and I'm trying to find, alternatives to shopping at Joann's because they're going out of business, or purchasing at Walmart or Amazon because, of course, we're boycotting them. I was like, well, I guess I have to try what Michael's has because, we're trying to find things. Now, I still love SF101, and I still have plenty of SF101, but that is more of a lightweight fusible interfacing, and I needed a medium weight fusible interfacing. And I'd had like another one, I think it was like Pillon 805. I might have the number wrong. But I can't find it. I purchased it and I cannot find it. Now, my interfacing stash here is not as well organized as I would like. I'm working on it. Everything is a work in progress. My interfacing is like next on my list to reorganize. I know exactly where my fusible fleece is. I know where my soft and stable is. I know where my SF101 is. The one thing I don't know is like where my not frequently used like medium weight interfacing, Decoville Light, those things that I don't use often enough. They haven't had like a home consistently. I've kind of moved them around and I don't know where I've put them. So anyways, the canvas bag, Firefly tote is recommended with a medium weight interfacing. So I tried this one from Michael's. Right now, do not recommend for canvas in this case. Now, maybe it's just my fault because I used freezer paper instead of parchment paper. Usually freezer paper just peels right off, but it's stuck to the back of this interfacing. The back of the interfacing should not be sticky. It should only be one side sticky. It says one side sticky. And I followed all the directions. I really paid attention to which side was the glossy side. So I don't know what to do, but I have more canvas. It's just canvas. It's just fabric. It's not the end of the world. I'll peel off the paper. I'll wash it. I'll be able to reuse it. For this project, I'll just get a new piece of fabric and I will reuse this piece of canvas for something else and it will be fine. But where that leaves me for this project is it puts me back on hold again. And I'm going to probably go to Joann's. Joann's, like I said, is going out of business and they have sales. Some sales are good, some sales are not so good. But if I don't go today, because it's like 3 p.m. right now, and it's like a 45-minute drive for me. So if I don't go today, I might go tomorrow, or I might try to find time in the middle of my work week. I don't know. I don't know if I'm going, I don't know when, but I'm going to try to find medium weight interfacing. I'm also going to keep cleaning and keep trying to reorganize. Things are getting better organized in my craft space, but it's a constant work in progress. And I know I love watching people clean their craft space, but I'm not really set up. Like I record on a phone. So I'm constantly moving my little tripod around to like try to get the best angles I can of what I'm recording. I know they're not the best. I edit to the best of my abilities. Someday, maybe, if the gods will it, I will be able to invest in better cameras or better equipment, and I'll be able to have a setup where I will be able to film more angles. But as it is right now, I'm recording on an iPhone with a tripod, a couple of different little tripods that I set up at different places to the best of my ability. That's all I got. It's what I can do. I'd rather spend my money on fabric and crafting supplies than tripods. So thank you for watching. Thank you for interacting if you are able to interact. And if you're just watching and enjoying it, that's enough. Thank you. Do what you can. That's all we can do. All of us are doing the best we can. All of us have our own spheres of influence. Your sphere of influence may feel small, but even a small pebble can ripple out into large waves when dropped in the right ocean. So make your waves, baby. Bye.